Oh, look at this. It's just for my notes. Narciso Garcia, Superintendent, Vanguard Academy. Pleasure to be with you this afternoon, Steve.
And it's a pleasure to see you again, Narciso. And so the reason that I wanted to come by to see you today is to talk about the fine arts component
Right.
of Vanguard Academy. I know Vanguard's been going for 22 years, and from the very beginning, long before you got here,
Yes.
fine arts was a key component. It was sort of embedded in the mission statement that this school district will be good at fine arts. So I just wanted to come along today and get an update on all the things that speak to the fact that Vanguard takes the fine arts seriously.
Yeah. Steve, you're correct. 22 years ago, right? Vanguard Academy was founded on the premise of fine arts, right? Offering children, young people, the opportunity to participate in dance, to participate in theater arts, in piano and orchestra, in choir, and dance, right? Art. And so 22 years later, right, would like to report that, our fine arts programs are doing better and greater than ever before because of the founders' premise being, a purpose in life, a reason for learning, and fine arts being that, right, embedded into the curriculum, embedded into the everyday activities of a student, of a child, of a young person. And so, I've worked at several school systems, right, and in the past, and I really don't believe that other school systems implement fine arts into the elementary, middle school, and high school like Vanguard Academy does. And so every child, the reason every child and every young person here at Vanguard Academy is successful with their soft skills, right? Which is the way they carry on a conversation and just, their soft skills and how they communicate with people, adults or other young people, right? Is because of the fine arts, right? The fine arts targets the left side and the right side of the brain. One side obviously being the creative side of the brain, the other side of the brain being the logic, right? And so fine arts targets both sides. And what that transfers to is great student outcomes in the academics, And so next year we are implementing, this past year we already implemented it, right, for the first time, a piano lab at every elementary. So that means our elementary students are receiving, as part of their fine arts curriculum, a piano class, right, at every elementary. And so really excited for that because next year will be our year 2 that we have a piano lab at Vanguard Academy. The kids love piano. We have kids perform at our guard rallies, which, there's 1 to 2 of those every month, where our fine arts department highlights the work and the performances of our 4 to 5 through 12th grade, our pre-K 4 all the way through 12th grade. Our students perform at these guard rallies through the fine arts department. And so it's really unique, very nice that, even our students that just started the piano lab last year, this past school year, 22-23, they're performing for their fellow students and for teachers, right, at these guard rallies, because that's a highlight of the fine arts. That started 22 years ago. It continues to today. And it's student-led, student-run from the elementary all the way through high school, right? And because I worked at other school systems, I can tell you that we have the best fine arts programs at the elementary. Our kids are challenged to perform and their soft skills because of their continuity from elementary all the way through high school. Their soft skills are really built. Can we do better? Yes, we can. But any organization can do better in every program. And so we continue to grow. We didn't have a piano lab 6 years ago when I got here. And we implemented that this school year, 22-23. We purchased pianos for every elementary school. We have it at one of our secondary schools at Rembrandt as well. And we have a dynamic choir teacher at Rembrandt Secondary on Kelly. And so she has pianos for her high school kids and for her choir kids. Tremendous choir art teacher. Her name is Leticia Vega, right? With the piano lab, we have like Ms. Gomez over here, Ms. Annie Gomez, who teaches that at Beethoven, and then through all of our other schools too, right? Another area of tremendous growth the last 4 years is orchestra. Some of our orchestra students, right, this year advanced to compete at state. And so their sponsor is Miss Cristina Amorin. And 4 years ago, she's God sent 4 years ago, we met somewhere out there in the community, right? And she said, hey, look, I work at this other school district. Have you ever thought about implementing orchestra at Vanguard Academy since it's fine arts? And so she helped me start orchestra from elementary through high school here at our Edinburgh campus at Beethoven Early College High School. And such a dynamic teacher, because now 4 years later, some of our kids are going out to state and compete at actual state competition in orchestra and getting ones or the lowest twos, right? But the program's just 3 to 4 years old. You know, she just started the program. And now we're going to have orchestra at Rembrandt Secondary as well. What's so unique about Rembrandt is that we've had orchestra there for about 5-6 years at the elementary level. Now the kids are getting to the secondary level. You know, we started then when they were maybe in first or second grade. Now they're in 6th, 7th grade, and they're asking, hey, when are you going to implement orchestra at the high school, middle school and high school? And so now we're promoting the elementary orchestra teacher that helped us start the orchestra program, violin, right? I'm going to send you a picture from graduation where a student had me play a violin, right? But so we're moving her up to secondary, and we're hiring an elementary orchestra person there to continue her work, right? And then we have the piano teacher there too. And so we're big on fine arts, and we have it from pre-K all the way through 12th grade. And so kids get to choose from piano to orchestra to theater arts to choir, art, dance, right? And so band is also another one, you know. And so we're really looking at continuing the growth of fine arts, because that's what the founders founded Vanguard on that premise of fine arts for all. So, you know, our special populations are very successful with the fine arts. And again, it what it does, it also strengthens their left side and right side of the brain when it comes to logic and creativity. And that's why our math scores continue increasing and closing the gaps and becoming better.
I was going to ask that question. Can you make the case that if a student is really good at fine arts, it actually helps them in the STEM fields?
Yes, we can.
That's proven.
Yeah, that's proven, because our Vanguard students are very successful in STEM. Look, Steve, remember our kids about a month ago, they advanced to the state finals in robotics for first. Mr. Jason Arms was super excited because that was the first time in the history of Vanguard that two teams made the top 4 in the entire state of Texas for robotics, and they ended up winning a state semifinalist plaque. It was Mozart Secondary in Alamo and Rembrandt Early College High School in FAR. Both schools made it to the finals, and they ended up as state semifinalists. And so the fine arts does help the STEM related areas, and that's why our kids are high performing in those areas, you know. And so recently, also last month, Mozart Early College High School in Alamo, they competed here regionally, and they advanced in sea perch water robotics to international competition in Baltimore, Maryland. They, out of 70 teams from around the world, they ended up in 17th place. And so the fine arts does help the STEM and does strengthen, but you have to do it from all the way to elementary, all the way through high school. Most school systems that have the resources don't do that because they just teach towards the test. And don't get me wrong, the star results, all that is super important for us, because public charter schools cannot afford to get low grades on academics, because they don't give us more than 3 years to make the corrective action. If you don't get the scores, you're closed down in 3 years, man.
In the general public schools,
they don't emphasize the fine arts at the elementary like we do. Right.
That's the difference.
That's the difference, and that's why you see the increase and the closing the gaps in our scores. And people are trying to think, okay, what is it that we can do? Well, do this at the elementary, and maybe years down the line, this is what's going to happen. But you have to do it with fidelity, right? So every elementary child has 2 fine arts courses, so they can pick from piano and art, piano and dance, theater arts. We even have theater arts at every elementary as well. Our theater arts, 1-act play from Rembrandt Secondary, advanced to regional competition, 1 step away from state. So we're really STEAM. The fine arts is really strengthens our arts, but it strengthens our STEM, right? That's why we call it STEAM. But our 3 1-act plays Beethoven Early College High School, Mozart Early College High School, and Rembrandt Early College High School. All three advanced to area competition, but only one advanced all the way to regionals, which was Rembrandt Early College High School. That's being led by Miss Emily Fierros, who helped me start the One Act Play 6 years ago, 5 years ago actually at Vanguard, and she's made it. This was the first time she ever got all the way to regionals, one step away from state. I really believe in the kids, and next year the team's going to come back strong and make it all the way to state. Choir, we have choir there at Rembrandt Secondary. Ms. Leticia Vega leads that. Phenomenal teacher, very energetic, and her students are super, super good as well. And the fine arts really strengthens all our academics all around.
Well, Narciso Garcia, Superintendent, Vanguard Academy, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed, up to date on what we have always known, that Vanguard places high emphasis on fine arts, and here you have positive results in the academic fields to show that it's a good mixture.
Yeah, super excited, because next year our sea perch, we don't have a swimming pool, Steve, and sea perch international competition, you're doing I'm going to send you pictures of those, right? You're doing water robotics, then that's what sea perch is. And all those teams are coming from all over the world. 70 teams from around the world, Steve. 70 teams. That is wow. It's amazing, because 70 teams from around the world, and Vanguard ended up in 17th place from all those 70 teams. International sea perch competition.
Where did this take place?
In Baltimore, Maryland. And
you sent a team up there?
We sent a team from Mozart Early College High School.
How many students?
We had about 5 or 6. There were some females in there and some males.
But you don't have a swimming pool, so how did you train them?
We trained them in those kiddie water pools, And but next year we have an idea of what we're going to do. Now we're going to have 3 sea perch water robotics teams, and we're believing that all 3 are going to advance to international competition wherever it's held next year. But we had teams from Japan, from Singapore, from the Middle East, from Europe, from all over the US. It was 70 teams from around the world, and Vanguard was one of those teams that competed against the top teams in the world. And we ended up 17th out of 70 teams.
So it could be argued that Vanguard Academy is becoming well known around the world.
That's true, Steve. Yeah, because we competed against several, all those teams from around the world. And I know the kids gave me a picture. I have it right here to my side. This is if I can pull right here a little bit. This is our Sea Perch International Sea Perch Challenge, right? And so this is the kids and their sponsors gave me this as a gift at the last board meeting in May. And look at the pool where they're at, and look, this is in Baltimore, Maryland, where they competed at the Sea Perch.
That must have been an incredible experience for them.
Incredible experience, and some of these kids are looking at going to Ivy League schools in the East Coast, right? And what's so unique is that this year we had 4 students attend Ivy League or get accepted, and they're going to Ivy League schools, right? They're going to Johns Hopkins. It's our 2nd year in a row that we get a student to Johns Hopkins. We also have another student going to Columbia, 2 going to Stanford. Okay, and so the first one that's going to Columbia, the second one that's going to Johns Hopkins, but the first 2 that are going to Stanford as well. And so we're doing something right at Vanguard, because the fine arts has propelled our students to do better than ever before, because they were awarded $39 million in scholarships, and we're grateful to God, number one, but most of all the fine arts. We believe the fine arts has played a key role in that.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome,
for today's
Steve.
update.
Thank you.